Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here with a market update and a little educational video for you. It is Tuesday, April 9th, I believe. Tomorrow we have CPI number coming out, which is our one of our top inflation gauges, numbers that they pay attention to the Fed. So this is going to be a major piece of news that's going to drop at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. Eastern Standard Time. So 8:30, be sure you're on the show at 8:30 to see the resulting move in the market. It's actually a great time. You know, I was talking about this on the show for those out there who are prop traders. Probably not, I never promote gambling in the markets. Every one of our setups are usually fall into a certain method or criteria has to be met for a trade to be taken. And you see that each day as you join me trading live at Day Trading Radio. But tomorrow with the news that's going to drop the market, we'll move the market aggressively in one direction or another, and possibly both directions. And you could actually make quite a big move. So for the prop traders, this is a good opportunity to catch a big move.
Submitted.
And it
Submitted.
it is
Order submitted.
It is
Order filled.
And you can hear
Order
some
submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
That's a rockbot signal right now. It's actually triggering. It is in the evening here at 8 o'clock, and we just had a little buy signal in the markets. But anyway, we're going to get back to that in a second. Like I was saying that, especially with the Bullinox, I want to do a Bullinox 90% coupon tonight. If I could show you that, let me see. Where is that? Hold on a second. Yeah, so there's a coupon out there. It's a 90% coupon on Bullinox. There's an 80% coupon on the Apex, which is recurring lifetime. But the 90% one is only for 1 month only. And that 90%, if you get a 25K account, brings it down to $14.50, which is pretty dirt cheap. So I want to open up one of these right now and place a trade before the CPI tomorrow and try to catch a move in one direction. Now, I'll show it to you tomorrow when we take that trade. Right now the futures are slightly down. We're going to be doing a little trading tonight, so if you're out there and you get this video, actually I have a couple coaching classes I got to do right now, so the screen won't be on until I'm done with the computers. But definitely an opportunity tomorrow to trade your prop accounts, but it's more of a gamble. It's not our strict methodology that day by day we move closer to qualification. We'll talk more about that in a second. But just remember, if you want to do that, the Bullinox coupon is DTR90. It's good until the whole month of April, so that's good. It brings that 25K account down to $14.50, and it brings down the 50K account to $17.50. Now, my advice is to don't only remember, this is only good for one. That price is only good for 1 month. After 1 month, it reverts to its old price, which is like $145 or $150. So you just want to make sure you cancel it before the first month expires. Put it on your phone, give yourself an alert, and like in 25 days to get, unless you qualify and you hand it in, then you have a qualification, you have a qualified account, and you're good to go. So that's that. You have 30 days. Tomorrow's a big move, either in one direction or another. Probably a good gamble for that. The Apex, of course, we love the Apex. That's only a 1 day qualification, and an 80% is recurring, meaning that if you have the 80% coupon, the next month it's 80%, the month after it's 80%. So these are the accounts that we like to qualify on, slow and sure. Again, when you trade prop accounts with us here at Day Trading Radio, the method is slow and steady. All right. I look to trade the MES. We do it live with you every single day, and we try to have our goals to reach about $100 to $300 a day, and over time we qualify within a month's period, and then from that point on, you have a qualification account, and then you could actually continue to do that methodology. Now, we have all the tools that you get, and a big shout out to all the desire to trade traders out there. There's a lot of new traders on the site. I want to give you a shout out, and one of the biggest questions I've been getting as they try to catch up and learn the methodology is, where can they find the methodology? And, I put it out every single day live. That's what I do. I teach this thing live from tomorrow 8:30 in the morning till 4 o'clock in the evening when the market's closed. So no one else does this like we do it here. And what we do point out, and I want to point out today, we trade stocks, we trade options, we trade futures. Intraday, we like to trade futures because we have so many opportunities to gain short term. Short-term trading is based off of our stochastic oscillators that we have here. There's 4 of them, and that's my methodology. It's called the HPS methodology. It's based off of 4 stochastic oscillators and a set of 5 indicators. And having 3 of the 5 indicators line up, including the stochastic oscillator. And so if you want, I'm going to post some videos. Again, if you're a member out there on a trial and you came from the desire to trade, I'm going to, over the next day or so, I want to get you those videos out there on the methodology a little bit better, because a lot of people are looking for different things. Believe me, it's all on the YouTube channel. Just it's every, I have 1,000 videos teaching this, so it's just plenty of information out there. But I'll try to make it a little bit more easier and post some, what I'll do is I'll post a couple links in the description of the video that will open up a little playlist of the best videos I have, and which kind of outline the methodology directly right to the point. All right. So that's a couple of things I just want to mention on that. Let's take that off of here. And we're taking a look at the S&P right now. The futures are open. We just heard that we just had a little signal here. So let's switch.
Tradometer YM overbought.
This is what we call the tradometer here. Well, actually, this is the rockbot channel. It has 2 signals going on right now. It's in 2 trades. The rockbot channel runs a bot that's based off the methodology. The methodology identifies the divergence and oversold levels and takes the trades, and I want you to manage the trades when the trades come in. Now, when you see the bot channel, again, when you sign in and you're on your dashboard, you have access to this. It's just in the lower right of your dashboard. And when I talk about that, I'll show you where that is. Fast. We'll move here. We're probably going to hit that profit here. So let's go over here for a second. One of the tools that we have, again, I want to show you that rockbot is still in this trade right now. And how I recommend people using it as members, you have the option to watch the channel, which has a script running on it. Or if you're a higher ranking member, like a lifetime member, or have a membership that enables the rockbot script, you could actually put the script on your own NinjaTrader platform. And what's good is we integrate really well with the prop accounts, because the NinjaTrader platforms, or the prop accounts, give out the NinjaTrader platform. So everything melds perfectly together. It's one perfect marriage. So, but a lot of people think you put on the bot and you set it and forget it. No, this is not that. This identifies the best areas in the market, and really depending on the market. And this is actually running on a 300 tick chart. There's a lot to learn about the bot and how to manage it. And what I like to do with it is like move a trailing stop up aggressively with it. So I let it take me into the entries, and then we manage it. Now this is running throughout the day. But you have to also remember, it will give you signals in a downward market that will not get the full rotation. Like here, we had a signal here, and it didn't go anywhere. It just kind of got stopped out. It didn't get any follow through. That was one big candle. So depending on what your parameters are, if your parameters set real tight, you might not get the full rotation. So you have to know what markets you're working in. And then in other cases, you could get a move down here. It goes all the way, you get the biggest move of the day. As I roll back, you'll see here, look at this move. Now, again, you can see that it took the entry right on the lows, took first profit, second profit, and it had a trailing stop. Because I have a very tight trailing stop, you could adjust those parameters to capture anything. So if I click on this button here, actually it's still active, but I might be able to, I don't think I can change the parameters while it's running. But I could actually put my parameters that has a wider trailing stop. I could put my parameters that it doesn't have a second target. It could go as far as it wants. It just followed up with a trailing stop. That's what I have on this one here. If you take a look at the 5-minute time frame, which is also just triggered also. So when you have a 5-minute and you have, this is actually the ES and the MES. That's not the 5 minutes, 300 tick. But this one, we don't have, we just have first profit and we have a trailing stop. So it takes off three contracts on the first profit.
Order filled.
And
Order
then it starts
canceled.
following it up with a trailing stop. So it could go and go as long as the trailing stop is big enough. And in the case back down here, you can see it captured the low again. And it got, that little pullback, pulled it back. But most of these will be the lows of the whole session. These are going to give you tremendous moves. Tremendous. This is probably a pretty good move starting right now, even though, it just, you heard the stop come in on the other platform there. So let me fast forward that. And that's just because of the parameters set. Now, again, I just want to protect all profits. It's going to give us real good entries. You're going to get little pops, and you're going to get profits. And you have to keep that in mind. All right, so back over here, what I do during the day, and if you're out there and say, what am I watching? What are these guys doing? And normally, I think a stock trader is trading stocks. How do I? What is he talking about? Embedded stochastics, or triple threat, quad rotation. This is like a foreign language. Never heard about this. It's because we invented it all. we invented everything. Basically, it's our it's code words for certain things that happen in the market. Pretty simple. The standard divergence you probably heard of, and that is absolutely one of the best things you could trade by is the Georgian Lane stochastic divergence setup. And the way, and the way I manage it, the way I teach it, and with the single stochastic band, the D, using the D signal line. Stochastics usually have 2 lines on it, so this is foreign to a lot of people. Like, what the hell? He doesn't have any labels on it. I do that for a price. I just want people to come and just learn everything. I want them to be part of the site. I want them to understand. It's just, there's a lot to go. There's a lot of knowledge and there's a lot of experience here from from my trading back in 1996. I started. One thing I like to do each day after the market, and I do this in video about 3 times a week, and I send it out to you guys, is I like to review the setups and make sure that we've caught all the setups, and that if something didn't work out, why didn't it work out? Because during the day while we're watching this chart, I'm marking it up. Now, I wasn't here at 4:45, but we went back. When we got in, we kind of checked out the pre-market and see what it was, and I could pretty much spot a divergence like a smelling a fart in the closet. The divergence here is so strong. It's such a beautiful one. It's a nice organized 1, 2, 3 pullback divergence. Just beautiful. And it's a rise in stochastic 60-10, which means our 5 minutes on our side. So everything about this was really nice, and that's just a beautiful divergence. And you have to take that every time. And back here, 645, beautiful divergence, what we call a double bottom divergence. Teaching that on the screen. So again, for those that want to learn the methodology, right here, I'm teaching it right here. So again, we have 2 textbook setups. This is our top setups. Remember, there's 3 kinds of divergences. You have a pure divergence, where you have a low and a lower low and a low and a higher low. You have a double bottom divergence. You have a low and a double bottom and a low and a higher low. Both of those are on equal level. They're both great. There's not one better than the other. They work very similar, that divergence there, just as a relative divergence. And I'll show you relative divergence. And then we had a nice flag here. We called that flag early today. There was a couple of flags we could see, and we were seeing some strength. Here it was. So the market opened up. And right at the open, I could see that we put in a divergence, and we kind of called that pretty good. And that was our first Zello alert. If we go back to the Zello app, you will see that you can actually go back and play the alerts that you might have missed for the day. So I'd like to go back and take a look at what I said at that certain time. So this is right after the open.
All right, good morning, everyone. Just after the open here, we do have a sell-side divergence at the open with a stop would go right at the highs of the day right here. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Futures are up 14. Have a good day today.
I feel like an airline pilot. Clear skies. We're at altitude 43. Have a good day. Anyway, they had a nice divergence. We caught it to the downside. And it eventually went all the way down. Eventually, we dropped down right after the open. We kind of sold off pretty hard. And then we kind of go into this kind of just a sloppy trend here. We were waiting for a pop. We started to see possible divergences here. And sure enough, we got that pop. I don't know if we took that or not. I have to look back. I have to look back at my chart. Let's see. I think it still has the old trades on it. I have to remember. Hold on. All right, sorry to dead air there. I don't want to give too much dead air. Couldn't find the trades. So just looking at the drop off here, and that weakness was very hard to kind of. This is where you get hurt, and this is probably like where the bot could get hurt easy. If there's news, this might have been. It looks like there was some news that came out here at 10:30, and it really just dropped the market off pretty hard. We got down to about 10:45. We started putting in a little divergence here, and sure enough, it went. And we started developing this big channel. We pulled back a little. You see this nice, this is a relative divergence here. This was a relative divergence. So relative divergence, price, it's not a real divergence. You have a candlestick that kind of clouds that drops down. So you don't have a lower low. You don't have a double bottom because it's not the candlestick. But we don't sometimes count a candlestick. So relatively speaking, most of the closing prices are at one level. If the majority of the closing price is at one level, and you have a rogue candle, and this comes down to the closing prices, and we start to turn up. That's what I call a relative divergence. That's what we call a relative divergence. But you'll see. You'll say, oh, that looks like a double bottom. There'll be one candle maybe out of place. Then we call this a nice bull flag. Textbook bull flag right here. I don't know if what are some of the other alerts I sent out. And then at 1 o'clock, we had a quad rotation divergence. That's right around 1 o'clock. Let's see if we sent that out. Let's see what this says.
All right, good afternoon. It's 1:01 p.m. and we're approaching a quad rotation zone here. Quad rotation price is 52.36, 52.36.
52.36. Right
and we're just off a quad rotation. It could happen anywhere around this level. I just want to give you an update. Test your Zello. A lot of new members on Zello today, so welcome.
So that was kind of a big area that we had, and we turned into a divergence too. That was right at there. And it was also kind of a coil. So you had a quad, you had a little divergence, and you had a nice move up in that direction. And from that point on, I didn't even point this out, but you could see here from this. I'll get rid of that circle because we didn't put that circle down at the time, but we did send a Zello out there at the time. Sometimes I'd label the chart whatever we put a Zello alert out there. And if you're getting this and you don't have a Zello alert, it's very, very easy to get one. Become a member at Day Trading Radio, or go to patreon.com/Day Trading Radio, and you'll see that the Zello alerts are a great way of keeping in touch with the futures. Just receiving my instantaneous futures calls, and the calls that go out with the Zello are just high probability zones. There's only three or four trades that we'll announce on that. It's going to be a divergence, it'll be a coil, it'll be a quad rotation, or a combination of things. So if you hear it, it means to act on it. And you already heard the examples of the alerts there, so they're pretty spot on. And what's great about this, I'm so proud of it because it I kind of came up with the idea myself of using this app and making a channel for traders and having people. So it's very reasonable for if you're not a member. It's only $20 a month. That's really, really good. So, and I always, even people who are members, if you like the service, you want to kind of donate at Patreon for that project, and if it is, it helps, because I want to continue to kind of build out that, promote that a little bit more. Again, if you're a Day Trading Radio member, you get it. But if you're not, head over to Patreon, Day Trading Radio. So we kind of call these out. We had a quad rotation here. So when you look at the chart, and this again going out for people who might not be familiar, we're looking at a few different things, right? I'm here with you, rocking the markets, some music, some commentary, and we're waiting for our setups. And I identify them. The bot identifies that we have a tradometer, which is a great indicator. I think that was on fire today. Let's take a look at that. So it actually runs 24/7. So this is another thing you get as a member here at Day Trading Radio. This is a tradometer, and it is a multiple time frame order entry. And it's not really meant to be used overnight. You want to have some, liquidity in the market. But as you can see, they still seems to call the right zones. And this is really based off of, like I said, multiple time frames on stochastics. So I'm tracking the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute S&P futures and cash and melding them together. That's just to kind of give you how I program this. So the green lines, when the green lines come in, those are buy signals. There's one back here. Look at these. I mean, some of these are just. I'm just moving over on this one on the left, which is the S&P, and using this for so many years, I know the ins and outs of it. So I know that 2 out of 3 will be off. 1 will be spot on every day. Some days it's the ES, some days it's NASDAQ, some days the YM. And what I mean by that it seems like it's just tuned in perfectly, where the other ones might extend a little higher than the sell signal and then come back. We'll be off just a little. But there will be one that is just spot on. So look at it around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, especially going into a half an hour to go. A half a day to go. You want to use that in the second part of the day. Mostly sell signals here, which is fine because this is a scalping indicator. So a move from here, 65. It's not much of range here, 1 to 2 point range. So again, you're not really going to take these at that time. But if we do go back all the way, it'll open back up, and you'll see that we had. You could just follow them back. They work really, really well. And it's great to have that on your side, too. So if you're looking at an entry, maybe a sell signal, you see a sell divergence, and they both line up, that's like a super signal for me. It's just the same thing as a super signal. So that's that. And then we got a quad rotation here, back up to the VWAP, pulled back. And we started the divergence here, but you know what? It actually kind of didn't get too far. This is one that really kind of had a hard time. It got up to that 80 line, and there was a trend line there. I mean, there were some things, and the trend was down. And whenever we're trading under the 20, 200, 50, and the VWAP, we want to take this off most all bounces. So it was an okay bounce. It actually kind of went higher than the tight little channel that's formed right here in that circle there. Well, should have put a circle there. But I'm probably not analyzing it like that on the go right there. I don't even know. I did see the divergence there, but it didn't get as far as I would have liked it. And I took it off. I actually took it, and I just, you know what? I said, this is not feeling right. It doesn't look like it's a fast rotation. So we took that off. And then the market came down, and then look at this move at the end of the day. I mean, this was a quad rotation at right about 513. Just a quad, perfect quad. And then, boom, it went 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. Was that 30 points? Wow. $2 o'clock. Now, this was a quad rotation here at 2 o'clock. I'm just curious.
Quad rotation right here at up to 2 o'clock, 2:04 quad rotation to the upside. This is a quad rotation, 52.31. It's already moved to 52.32, 52.32.50.
Started going into detail because it was running fast, and I try to get those alerts out as fast as I can. All right, now I'm back here with you. Yeah, we just took off, pushed up here now. The market opened it back up here today, and we've just been kind of drifting here. So watching the markets right now, we actually just bounced, and this was actually a quad rotation. See how they all just kind of dip down right at the last moment, and they all line up. It's all about these coming down fast while this is waiting for it, and it's usually just a perfect bounce. This one started to kind of roll over, and it's been embedded up here since, but there's not much going on, so we're not gonna waste any time looking at this tonight right now unless something really happens. But that is the review of the S&P, and the key is identifying the setups, taking the trades, placing your stop, and taking your profits. Slow and steady wins the race, Slow and steady wins the race. Don't get over anxious. You hear something ripping and stuff, because most likely you're going to get in right here, and it's going to pull back, and you're going to chop out, and then you're going to see it run again, and then you get whiplash. If you have the discipline, make it a business plan. Make it the business plan. Design your trading style around, discipline. And, that's what I do for myself, because it makes it easier. It's like if I was selling a product, what product? I need a playbook. I need, hey, we're dealing with this issue. Go to the master manual. Page 30, it'll tell us how to deal with that situation. Every situation is dealt with in this market with the HBS methodology. On the entries, exits, and where to place your stops. Everything's defined. Now, I kind of brushed through it real fast, taking a little fast, especially for the beginners. But you see the concept here. And again, this concept is all based on momentum, math. And math plays a big part. Algorithms are our future, right? What are algorithms going to work on? Emotion? No. We'll work on math. We're going to work on pivots and a line, 2 pivots. You can make a line with infinity. These infinity spots are always being tracked. And then we eventually get back down to, I want to know where they are. And when we have a combination of things happening and all together, that's usually our biggest moves. And we know that. We know what works, and we know how divergences work. The concept of the rocket and the momentum dies out, but the rocket continues to move up a little higher before rolling over. That's the concept behind momentum and stochastics. And we're kind of measuring. So this is kind of cool about the stochastics. It's amazing. It makes my brain hurt sometimes. That your candles are measuring, your stochastics are measuring how many candles you're looking back and how each candle closed on a scale of 0 to 100. And it plots it on the line. So that's at 0 to 100. And then over time, you're seeing that line move up or down and being oversold or overbought. And that's where that candle is at the low of the session or is at the high of the session. And it's just amazing how you came up with that. And then, what it means now when it shifts before the price shifts. The momentum is going to shift, and that's under the hood. You can't really see what's under the hood. You can only see the reaction of the stock. But we could see it by measuring out stochastics on its own little graph and you have the oscillator there. We see that momentum started to shift to the upside, even though the price was moving down. That means that candle is starting to lift internally over an average. You can't see it on each individual candle, but over time, we might be starting to see it starting to turn up. By the stochastics, and that's going to make the market eventually turn up with it. So there's nothing better than math in the markets, Now, the other hard thing is just taking your profits. Most of the time, we're going to be up there in success. Probabilities of success are going to be very high, but it's going to be high for a certain amount of time, and then it's going to drop off because the markets are. Unless you trade in a 5-minute time frame, which this applies to that too. I do everything on the 1 minute, makes it a little bit more interesting for the show. But you do this on the 5-minute, you're sitting pretty. I would recommend doing it on the 5-minute time frame. You're going to have much better success. We'll just look at the SPY here for example. Now, today was really a choppy, nothing really. Well, actually, let's zoom out here. I got to go to my right chart here. Now I'm going to zoom in, and then I'm going to move over. So you're not seeing, I mean, the problem with the 5 minutes, sometimes you're not going to see as many setups as you're going to see with a 1 minute. So you got to sell off here, and about 11 o'clock, and then we bounced. But there was no divergence there on the 5 minute. We did call a divergence. What did we call a divergence here? A sell side divergence. It was very close with that candle. I think we were talking about that sell side divergence there. And again, there wasn't too much to find except nothing here, just oversold and then a bounce. But sometimes you see them. You know, just today we didn't see them. We go back in time a bit. Maybe we could see something better. Oh, froze up on me. Perfect. Let's see if I could. All right, I found it. It went back. It freed up on me, so I went back to yesterday, and there was some 5 minute. There was a perfect 5 minute sell divergence right here. It was a real strong one. You can see that was the top right there. We called that live. It was a really good one. We had some actually flags that we were just following. I was thinking, but that was the one big divergence there, and then there was a divergence here between 2 and 3 o'clock. Remember we talked about that one when we talk about relative divergences. You have one candle that kind of feels like it messes up everything. Don't pay attention to that. Relatively speaking, this is a divergence because prices are pretty much equal, but the stochastics are not. Now it gives you a little bias to the upside, but it's also kind of a boring trade. We'll see. I mean, again, this is on the SPY. The ES would move, you know, in comparison to what this is moving. So that's it. That's the end of the thing. A couple stocks we got into today. Got into McDonald's. Added to McDonald's. I should actually say I had a little McDonald's. I added to it today, and banging the table all day saying watch for a reversal. End of the day, here comes McDonald's down the stretch. The wife knows everything. The wife knows nothing. And McDonald's takes the lead at the end of the day. That's an inside joke for Day Trader Radio members. That's a horse race. I don't have marital problems. All right. The McDonald's here taking the lead. So very happy on this. And we're called that as a coil stochastic channel breakout. Lower trend line coil. Remember we talked about the coils? When you get down about 4, you tend to get the bigger moves. Pretty decent reversal candle today. It's an engulfing pattern. That looks really good. And then the other one, ETSY. Nope, that's the wrong one, Johnny. ESTY. What's Etsy? ETSY. You know what it is? It's Etsy. There it is. So again, here's another coil. Amazing. 2 coils here. And this is another one, coil breakout. And again, closed near the highs of the day. We got in yesterday. Or what are we getting today? Yesterday. Yesterday we got in this one. And we also picked up the Pelosi stock. Nancy Pelosi, yes, lead us to the victory with NVIDIA. She recently got into PANW, Palo Alto Networks. I like it technically speaking. I think it makes a good combination like Pelosi and the Rockstar. I like a pullback when someone like that name gets into it and there's like, you know, a lot of hype on it and it pulls back. This thing will come back pretty strong, and it looks like everything is ready to go here. Nice rotation. Nice long pullback. We're up against the 20. I don't think we're going to get down to this trend line. Anyway, I'm in it. I picked up a little today. What was our price? $278 on the dot here. On the dot, $278 I paid. It's $279.35. So it's already up $1.35. Ooh, I'm up $30. But it wasn't meant to be a big trade. I wanted to make sure, well, I should have gone in a little bit more on this. I kind of wimped out on that for some reason. But I always get big numbers on these. Like, we'll get 6-7 points on this, and, we'll make our... But, hey, that one's another one, too. So, Palo Alto Networks, McDonald's, Etsy, all ready to go on the watch list, and we're in those. So, that's it for now. I know there's a lot of new people out there. I wanted to give you a taste of some of the research we do each night, kind of break down the methodology a little bit more. You guys, a lot of people have been asking for videos. I want to put some videos in the description of the video here to kind of give you a head start of if you want to look deeper into the methodology and stuff. And other things in the link. I'll put the Patreon there in the link and stuff. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the markets tomorrow morning.